The first ever men's FIFA World Cup match to be hosted in Canada will be held in Toronto.
So in terms of civic pride, it's a huge success to have it in Toronto and Vancouver. If you're looking purely as a dollar term exercise, that are we going to get back $300 million, you're not even going to get close. It's a complete waste of money from that standpoint.
Non è tutto oro quello che luccica. Il mondiale di calcio organizzato in collaborazione con Messico e Stati Uniti, che arriverà tra meno di 2 anni in Canada per un totale di 13 partite, 7 a Vancouver e 6 a Toronto, sul piano prettamente economico potrebbe avere un ritorno nettamente inferiore alle attese, specie a fronte dei circa 300 milioni di dollari ufficiosamente investiti da ciascuna città, come spiega Moshe Lander, docente di economia alla Concordia University di Montreal.
With the World Cup in Toronto, you would say that the reason we're going to make so much money is because a whole bunch of tourists are going to come to Toronto. But guess what? A whole bunch of tourists already come to Toronto in the summertime. It's one of the most popular cities in the world as a tourist destination because so many people come to Canada because you can only come in the summertime. You can't really come in the wintertime. Vancouver is going to have exactly the same experience. There's only a finite number of hotel rooms in Toronto. There's only a finite number of hotel rooms in Vancouver, and they're full in the summer. So when you start counting the economic destruction that comes by taking the tourists that would normally come and telling them to stay away, these two don't perfectly balance out, but they come pretty close that the economic benefit is much, much less than $300 million.
Il tutto senza contare che chi lavora o vive in downtown Vancouver o Toronto magari approfitterà proprio di quei giorni per prendersi una vacanza e sfuggire a strade chiuse, traffico impazzito e ressa, riducendo ulteriormente i benefici per locali, bar e ristoranti. Non sarebbe un caso infatti che l'organizzazione condivisa tra più paesi per i grandi eventi sportivi stia diventando ormai sempre più frequente.
The numbers just don't add up anymore, and taxpayers are becoming increasingly frustrated at huge infrastructure spending projects that don't deliver economic returns, and then having to pay for those things at the expense of healthcare, roads, schools, infrastructure. So I think this is probably a last hurrah for this type of model for FIFA, and then it's going to be handed over to the China, Russia, Middle East type countries where they can stomp on human rights and what the taxpayer has to say, and then they can spend any amount that they want to out of their own money and put on a first-class product for FIFA, even though the rest of the world might roll their eyes and say, seriously?
Insomma, la necessità di far quadrare i conti pubblici rivaluta la rinuncia ad ospitare il mondiale fatta da città canadesi come Edmonton e Montreal.
So it's not an issue of did they dodge a bullet, it's that the only way that they could have hosted was to massively rebuild their stadiums to make it serviceable for 5 games, 6 games, 7 games, and there's just no way you could justify that. At least Vancouver, Toronto have the structure in place. It's just a matter of making sure that they have the flooring correct.